That's why we here. We got other things to do, but brothers and sisters, y'all better listen. Your God that put you in this is calling that. He's telling you it's time, and they know it's time. They know it.
Before I say this verse, I praise it to the Most High. Sitting on the throne, see me the king, but I go by. Jumped off the slave ship to a spaceship, boy, I'm so fly. Put your triangle out with my son, there's no eye. You in the kitchen cooking up, trying to pick a pie. I'm reading about my best deception, trying to remake the lie. Yes, I should talk about Bibles, girls, the hood, and guns. I got sick of that, you son of sin, I'm God's son. So put your number one, and defending with me. You jump a new light and you like work, ain't no hater get me. And tell the mama she ain't gotta do that for that cheese. They teach that swine beef and shrimp almost as no disease. They say that please, what you ain't got on.
We're the Battle Axes of the Most High, coming to wake up the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's right.
Hey, brother with the blue shirt, do you know who you are according to the Bible? Hey, brother by the trash can with the blue shirt. Hey, brother with the pink shirt on, a red shirt. Do you know who you are according to the Bible, man? Hey, that's your nationality. Thumbs up. Texas. Hey, man, let's go ahead and get Isaiah 1 and 3. Because, hey, brother, you know this book is for you, right? You know this book is for you, right? This book. Do you have 5 minutes for your Lord? Hey, brother, if you go over there, you just not might make it back, man. Most like that, hey.
Here we go. Another mic. Yeah, get another mic, man. There you go. There you go.
Hey, brother. Most like God, hey, it ain't no coincidence that we right here talking to you, man. You need to give the Most High God your time, man. Because he loves you, man. But you gotta prove that you love him.
Right.
So come learn a couple of these precepts, man. Go ahead, bring Isaiah 1 and 3 first. Well, matter of fact, go to Deuteronomy 76. I got it out there right now. Give me Deuteronomy 76 first. I had it there. Because, brother, do you know you the best thing on the planet? You know you the best thing on the planet? Let's go ahead and prove it. Cry loud, huh?
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people.
A what kind of people?
For thou art an holy people.
So the word holy means separate, man. The Most High God separate us from every other nation that's on this planet. We don't.
Unto the Lord, thy God.
So we know the word, it said, thy God. Meaning that's possessor, man. You ain't nobody else's God but yours. We don't.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
He did what?
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
Hey, man, brother, he had chosen you. Even though we in a lower state, he still chosen you, man. We may not be rich physically, but spiritually we rich, man. We don't.
To be a special people unto himself.
Hey, because it ain't no coincidence that we the fastest, the strongest, the smartest. Hey, without us, America wouldn't have been built, man.
Right.
We don't.
Above all people.
No, we equal to.
Above all people.
No, we under to.
Above all people.
So, hey, man, again, even though we in the state that we in, we still above all these other nations, man. But you got to come back to your God. Go ahead.
That art upon the face of the earth.
Give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12, man. What you got? Go ahead. Maybe you get there.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. Now Israel, what thou the Lord thy God require of thee.
So the Israelites being the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Most High God requires some of y'all. Go ahead.
But to fear the Lord thy God.
So how do you fear the Lord, huh? Brother with the blue shirt. Go ahead, give me Psalms 111 and 10. Read on.
To walk in all his ways.
Y'all, to half-ass walk.
To walk in all his ways.
Hey, man, we got to walk in all of his ways, man. We can't be like these Christians that's out here, where they claim to be Christians. Because the real definition of Christian means a follower of Christ.
That's right.
Christ kept the commandments.
That's right.
They ain't keeping the commandments. Go ahead. Fear.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
Because a lot of people like saying that wisdom is gray hairs. No, wisdom ain't, gray hairs ain't wisdom, man. Wisdom is the gray hairs.
That's right.
Go ahead.
A good understanding.
A good what?
A good understanding.
No.
Have all they that do his commandments.
That do what?
That do his commandments.
So you wonder why our people is lost like they is, man. They don't keep his commandments, but they have the nerve to try to read this book and be like, hey, he loves everybody. Hey, we can eat pork. That's not in the Bible, man.
Right.
God said we can't eat these things. The Most High God said we got to put fringes on our shirts, man.
Right.
Read on. Go ahead, bring this out.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what does the Lord thy God require thee? But to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, and to love him.
Because, brother, how do you love the Most High God? You already know what I want. 1 John 5 and 3. Go ahead.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God.
Because we got to understand that the word love is an action word, man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That we keep his commandments.
That we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
Because, hey, man, if you ain't keeping his commandments, you don't love him, man. That's just point plain simple, man.
That's right, teacher.
Because just like if you have a wife, how do you prove that you love your wife? By actions, right? That's the same way with the Most High God. Read on.
And his commandments are not grievous.
And his commandments are not what?
And his commandments are not
Hey,
grievous.
man, his commandments is not hard to do. It's not hard to stop eating pork. It's not hard to put fringes on your shirt. It's not hard to not bald your head, man, or wear your beard. But y'all make these things hard, man. The Most High God's not finna put nothing upon us that's too hard for us, man. Read, is that it on it? Go ahead, bring it out.
This is the book of John, chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commandments.
Man, it don't get no simpler than that. Read that again.
If you love me, keep my commandments.
If you love me, keep my commandments. Go ahead.
He that hath my commandments and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me.
Read that last part again.
He it is that loveth me.
So again, it's keep on reiterating itself, man. If you love him, just keep his commandments. Hey, green hair. Well, whatever color it is. Are you a so-called white person? A white woman?
Native American.
You Native American?
Two types.
What's your father?
I know there's a creator.
No, I'm talking about your earthly dad. A place of answers.
I don't know.
You don't know? Well, you could possibly be us. I don't know. You might be an Edomite. But I need to know what your pops is, man.
My pop was murdered when I was 2. I don't know my dad.
Okay, what was your grandpa?
Don't know him either. I was adopted.
I mean, only the spirit bear witness with that, man. So, go ahead, let's go back up and get this.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee?
Because, okay, if you
I was raised Baptist.
was raised by Baptists, do you know that Baptists be lying to you?
I know.
Do they keep the commandments?
No.
Because, hey, we gonna do thus saith the Lord. Most High God told us to keep the commandments, so we gonna keep those things. What color is Christ?
All color.
He's all colors. Give me Revelations 1:14. Go ahead, give me Daniel 10:6.
Bring it up. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 14. His head and his hair were white like wool.
So what nation of people do you know have woolly texture hair? Like a sheep. Like who has hair like that? Nobody? Look down at my hair. My hair don't like a sheep hair.
Right?
My hair. Look at his head. And his head. We don't know.
As white as snow.
That's what?
As white as snow.
We don't.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Because see, we know Christ, he drank wine. So the white around his eyes was always red.
That's right.
And if you ever seen a pissed off black man, their eyes turn red when they get mad. We don't.
And his feet like unto fine brass.
Okay, so what color is fine brass? What color is fine brass? It's red? Okay. So let's say, I'll take that if it's red. Let's see how, let's go. Go ahead.
As if they burned in a furnace.
So even if you put that white shirt in a furnace, what color is it gonna be when you take it out?
Bring it out.
Huh? Black, right? And what nation of people is called blacks today? African American. And even with the word African American, that's not our original name. We are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Go ahead and bring this out.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 7, verse 14. For it's evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah.
Out of what?
Out of Judah.
So we know the tribe of Judah is the so-called African Americans. We know the tribe of Issachar, that's the so-called Hispanics. We know the Gadites is the Native Americans. We know Ephraim is the Puerto Ricans, and so on and so forth. But go ahead.
Of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood.
You got that up? Go ahead.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Straight out. To the morning, and the gates thereof language. They are blood.
They are what?
They are blood unto the ground. And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
So anyways, going back to that, we know that Christ, he sprung out of the tribe of Judah. It just said that the Judites, they were so-called black people. So we know that Christ is a so-called black man.
That's right.
All right, so let me ask you this. How do you feel about Most High God putting so-called white people in these other nations into slavery? Could you accept that? If you ain't a so-called white woman, could you accept that? You couldn't? Even if it's in the scriptures.
Bring it out.
Revelation 13:9.
Bring it out. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
So he said, if any man have an ear, hey, everybody got 2 ears, as far as I know of. We don't.
He that leadeth into captivity.
He that leadeth into captivity, we don't.
Shall go into captivity.
So what nation of people do we know as a vast majority led people into captivity? So-called white man, right? So we know that this happened to the so-called black man, the so-called Hispanic man, Native American, without a doubt, right? We don't.
He that killeth with the sword.
So who gets shot down in the streets for no reason? We don't.
Must be killed with the sword.
So everything that these other nations is doing to our people, they got an answer for that.
That's right.
So that's why I asked you that you need to search out your father. Because the Most High God, he only chose a certain race of people. And that's the Israelites.
That's right.
We don't.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Saints being the children of Israel. Go ahead and get that. Psalm 148 and 14. Go ahead.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 35, verse 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are.
So that's basically a commandment. People ain't supposed to be polluting the land. Go ahead.
For blood and defile the land.
So we know that blood, because we know that our people build this land off blood, sweat, and tears. But it just said that blood defiled the land. We don't.
And the land cannot be cleansed.
So it said it cannot be cleansed, but by what?
Of the blood that is shed therein.
So it can't be cleansed by us, because we're the innocent blood that's being shedded out.
That's right.
So it can't be cleansed by our blood, but whose blood?
But by the blood of him that shed it.
What?
By him that But by the blood of him that shed it.
By the so-called white man, the so-called Africans, the so-called Arabs, all the people that did these horrible things to us, they all got an answer for that. So can you accept that? Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 148, verse 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel.
So going back to, Revelation 13:9, well, verse 10, it said to all his saints. And you see it there, I'm just proving to you that the saints is the so-called, Israel, all the Israelites.
That's right.
So do you have any questions? You got you? Go ahead, get that. You said Exodus 49:20. Isaiah 49:23. Go ahead, bring that out. Yeah, Isaiah 49:20. We gotta get that. You got it?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 23. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers.
But let me ask you, is the black man or the so-called Hispanic man or the Native American man, are they on top? Are they kings and princesses, queen, all these things? It's the other people? We the underdogs, correct? Go ahead. You said it. Say that one more time. All praise, I'm glad you understand it. Go ahead.
They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth.
Because, hey, we are that royal priesthood. So, yeah, we are at the bottom of society right now because we keep the commandments. But if we start keeping the commandments, I'll praise that the brothers and sisters that's doing that, and everybody that's around the four corners of the earth, you do know it's going to be an angry black man that's going to crack that sky.
Teacher!
So, seriously, you need to search out your father. Because you could be us, because right now, as far as I see, your spirit is bearing witness, but at the same time, I know the heathen, they will try to cleave unto us.
That's
so
right.
I don't know.
Right.
Go ahead.
And their face shall, and they shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet.
They said do what?
And lick up the dust of thy feet.
Hey, brother, they got the bike. Do you know who you are according to the Bible with the white hat on? Sister with the red hair in the head. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
And he's what?
That I am the Lord.
The Most High God, hey, he set us above everything, so Mother Nation's got to deal with that.
That's right.
Go ahead, bring this up.
It's the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
So, to give you a little brief history on that, Esau is the progenitor of the so-called white man. Go ahead, or Caucasian man. Go ahead.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
So Jacob is our forefathers, because Jacob had 4 sons. You know, that consists of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. But you see, it said Esau is the end of the world. So right now, hey, the world haven't ended just yet, right? But yeah, but when it does end, that's the end of his reign. And then it said Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. He gonna be back on top. Go ahead.
The hand of man is betwixt the hills, and the hand of the question answers as thou not. I answered then and said, O Lord, thou bearest rule. If I have found faith.
So basically, in that story, if you read about Rebecca when she had 2 nations in her womb, which was Esau and Jacob, Jacob had grabbed hold of Esau's heel, letting them know that, hey, we got next.
That's right. That's right.
So, go ahead.
Isaiah 45, verse 17. Get out. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation.
Hey, brother with the navy blue shirt on that just got the paper. Do you know you are according to the Bible, man? Yeah, you're a Judite. Yeah, you'll be right here, but you know the Most High God requires some signs for you? Go ahead. Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't just sit there and be like, I'm an Israelite and not do the things that an Israelite is required of.
That's right.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord thy God require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy God.
So how do you fear the Most High God? If you don't know, it's okay to say, I don't know. You read Psalms 111:10.
Bring it out.
Because, brother, for too long, our people been lost at the bottom of society, not knowing why we at the bottom, man. When we the smartest, the fastest, the strongest, and all these things.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
So it said the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. That's when you start obtaining knowledge of his Bible, of course. Go ahead.
A good understanding.
It said a good understanding. If you want to break down the deep parables in this book, you got to start keeping the commandments. I already jumped the gun, but go ahead and finish it out.
Have all they that do his commandments.
Go ahead.
To walk in all his ways and to love him.
So how do you love the Most High God? Go ahead, 1 John 5. Bring it out. Bring on the sword, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3, verse 5, chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God.
That's right. This is the love of God. Go ahead.
That we keep his commandments.
And we do what?
That we keep his commandments.
Because, okay, let me ask you a question. How do you prove that you love your mama? Or if you got a girl, how do you prove that you love her? You take action, right? So that's the same way with the Most High God. You got to put forth actions by keeping his commandments. That's an action. Go ahead.
And his commandments are not grievous.
I mean, his commandments are not hard to do. There's 613 laws, statutes, and commandments. And we ain't even got to keep them all. There's some for men, there's some for women, and there's some for children. In Texas alone, they got thousands and thousands of laws. And obviously, you keeping a majority of them because, hey, you're a free man right now. Well, quote unquote free because none of us is free. Right. But go ahead. That in on that. Go ahead. Go back.
It's the book of John, chapter 14, verse 15. Bring it out. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
So again, it don't get no simpler than that. It said, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you don't love me, continue to do what you're going to do and see how long that lasts. Because you got two choices. You got life and you got death. So you got to choose one, man.
Put the mic closer to your mouth, bro.
Gotcha. Go ahead, go to Numbers 15 to 38. Because this is one of those. All right. Cool.
I need to get on the sun. Say the shade and get y'all.
All right, go ahead.
Bring it out.
It's the book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38. Speak unto the children of Israel and bid them.
So it says, speak unto the children of Israel and bid them, meaning to command them. Read on.
That they make them riches in the borders of their garden.
Read on.
Throughout their generation.
No, just for like an hour.
Throughout their generation.
No, for like 2 years.
Throughout their generation.
So hey, as long as we generated, we gotta wear fringes, man.
That's right.
There ain't no other way around that. We don't.
And that they put on the fringe of the borders a glue, a ribbon of glue.
So even above the fringes, we got to put around it a ribbon of glue, man. Go ahead, because glue just means a sign of royalty, man. Go ahead.
And it shall be unto you for a friend, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the what? And remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
And what?
And do them.
Because again, man, we can say that we know all the commandments, but if we ain't doing them, what's the point of even knowing them, man? Hey, now sisters across the track, man, I seen y'all in these little hoochie mama shorts, man. The Most High God is not dealing with that. Wherever y'all at, unless y'all got on the trade, let me do around 22 and 5, man. I already know first thing is 2 and 9.
Bring it up.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertains unto a man.
Hey, sister, that's over there leaning on the wall, man. I'm talking to y'all. Y'all dressed inappropriate, man.
That's
and then y'all try to sit there and say, why y'all looking at me like that? Why did y'all come out the house like that, man?
That's right.
The Most High God is gonna kill y'all. Y'all don't think he is? Let's go ahead and get Zephaniah 1 and 8. Go ahead, read on.
Neither shall man put on a woman's garment.
So, hey, the article of clothing that women wear today that pertains to a man is pants or shorts. Read on.
For all that do so are an abomination unto the Lord thy God.
So the Most High God look at y'all as an abomination because y'all got that apparel on, man. Because it said a man may be known by his looks.
Right.
Y'all say y'all ain't that holy, but hey, y'all time saying otherwise, man. Take it how you want to take it. Read on. That's it on that. Go ahead.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1, verse 9. Verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice, and I will punish the princes and the king's children.
So it said in the day of the Lord's sacrifice, meaning whenever Christ comes back and he cracked that sky, then he's going to punish The kings and the king's children. Reverend paraphrase. Read that again,
And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord's sacrifice that I will punish the princes and the king's children and all such as are clothed with strange apparel.
What kind of apparel?
With strange apparel.
So, sisters, the Most High God look at that as like strange apparel, man. So if y'all love the Most High God, y'all need to start keeping His commandments. Don't just look over here. If y'all want to debate y'all cause, y'all can come over here. But we don't. That ain't on that. Give me, 1 Timothy 2:9.
This is the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, verse 9. In like manner also, that women adorn themselves in modest apparel.
What kind of apparel?
In modest apparel.
Modest apparel meaning a long, modest dress. Not like them skinny tight dresses that y'all be wearing to the club.
That's what.
Because y'all body is for y'all husbands, man.
That's what.
Go ahead.
With shamefacedness.
What kind of face?
With shamefacedness.
So hey, you should even want your body to be all out in the public, man. You should want that to be covered up. Read on.
And sobriety.
Meaning y'all need to be sober, man. Y'all don't need to be out here getting drunk. Go ahead.
Not with voided hair.
Not saying that y'all can't braid y'all hair up. Go ahead.
Or gold. Or pearl. Or costly array.
So again, not saying that y'all can't do these things, but don't let that be your main focal point. Don't let that let that be known from everybody else. They be like, that's the only reason why she wear that. Because she wants that to be shown around the whole world, man. But we don't.
But which becometh women, professing godliness.
Professing what?
Professing godliness.
Hey, sisters, what y'all got on, that's not professing godliness.
That's right.
That's professing corruption, man.
That's right.
That's professing ungodliness. We don't.
Right.
With good works.
With what works?
With good works.
No, sleeping around with men all day.
With good works.
No, at the West End, with having clothes out their head.
With good works.
A lot of you. Read on.
Let the women learn in silence with all subjection.
With what kind of subjection?
With all subjection.
So even whenever y'all do get a man, if he ain't in this Bible, man, then hey, y'all gonna be lost too. Y'all need to get a man that's in this Bible.
That's
Y'all
right.
need to learn to, like, sometimes y'all need to shut your mouth, man. But if he trying to tell you right, and thus saith the Lord, she's like, yeah. Y'all need to do that.
That's
That
right.
brother with the gray shirt on that sit down over there, do you know who you are according to the Bible? I don't know if that's something, but brother. Hey, with the blue shirt on, do you know who you are according to the Bible? With the black shirt on, do you know who you are according to the Bible? Anybody over there, do y'all care who y'all are according to the Bible? Let's go ahead and
Wake up, man!
Y'all just look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm just talking to the wall, man.
Wake him up! Wake him up!
Zechariah 7:11.
He has like 6 minutes.
Okay.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 7, verse 11.
Bring it out.
But they refuse to hug it.
Hey, what?
But they refuse to hug it.
Hey, man. Why you got this Batman costume on, man? Hey, man. We don't know.
As they pulled away the shoulder.
They said that y'all refused to hearken and y'all pulled away the shoulder, man. We just trying to tell y'all, thus saith the Lord, man. Go ahead.
And stop their ears.
They did what?
And stop their ears.
Hey, man, y'all putting y'all headphones all in your head, not trying to listen to the Most High God. Read on.
That they should not hear.
That they should what?
That they should not hear.
Read on.
Yea, they made their heart as an adamant stone.
Y'all made your heart as an adamant stone, man. Meaning that y'all just refuse to listen to the Most High God. When he said, let y'all know, hey, if I keep my commandments, y'all gonna be on top, man.
That's right.
Hey, if y'all don't, continue to do what y'all want. Go ahead.
Lest they should hear the law and the words which the Lord of hosts has sent in his spirit by the former prophets.
So, hey, man, we are out here. We are those prophets that,
That's right.
that is speaking of, man.
That's right.
We out here giving y'all warning. Give me Ezekiel 3:17. Hey, brother with the mustard shirt on. Brother King, go ahead and bring him over here. Hey, bro, you was just talking to him. Why you gotta run all of a sudden? I'm not finna bite you. Brother. Come on, man. I'll praise. Y'all get a man around the cloud. I don't want to be rude, though. You said, wait out. Brother. Without the Most High God, you won't be able to catch that blue train, man.
That's right.
Do you believe in him? You should. Do you love him? Go ahead. Let's go back to that again. Praise God 5-3. Because you do know we got to put forth action in order to show that we love the Most High God or that we even believe in him. Because you can believe all day. But what's the point of believing if you ain't going to do what he says? You know? Go ahead.
I got a precept right here. 1 John 2-3. It says, and we hereby, we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments.
What?
If we keep his commandments.
So everybody that say that they know the Most High God, they gotta be keeping the commandments. But we know a lot of our people, they say that they know God, but don't keep the commandments. You know what the Most High God labels them? Go ahead.
Verse 4, he that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments,
Is that what?
is a liar.
Say what?
Is a liar.
Hey, this ain't my words. This is the Most High God's words, man. These commandments is not grievous, man. They not hard to do. You already grown your little beard out, man. That's a commandment. You know that, right? You didn't know? Go ahead, Leviticus 20:5. Go ahead, bring us out.
And the truth is not in him.
So, do you know what the truth is according to the Bible? 119, 142 Psalms. Go ahead. Go ahead, bring us out first.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 42.
142.
142.
Go ahead, bring us out.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 21, verse 5. They shall not make bondage upon their head.
So we said we shouldn't make baldness upon our head, meaning we shouldn't shave our head bald.
That's right.
You can shave it to like the lowest grade, but you can't just shave it bald like Michael Jordan or Charles Barkley. We don't.
Neither shall they shave off the corners of their beard.
So if you say that we shouldn't shave it, that means we gotta wear it, right?
That's right.
Because let me ask you, how do you identify a male line from a female line? Yeah, the mane. That's because that shows a signature of male dignity and whatnot. That's because when we was in slavery, they were shaving our faces, booty, bottom, butt, naked, man. Because they wanted us to look like little boys. And in some cases, some men without beards, they look like females, right? Well, go ahead.
Nor make any cuttings in their flesh.
So going into tattoos, I know you got a tattoo, but it's okay, bro. Just don't get no more. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 142.
Bring it out.
The truth is according to the Bible. Read on.
Bring it out.
The righteousness is an everlasting righteousness.
Read that again.
And thy law,
Say that again, huh?
the righteousness is an everlasting righteousness. And thy law is the truth.
It's the way.
Is the truth.
So his commandments, that's what the truth is, man. A lot of people, they be like, no, this is the truth. No, this is the truth. No, the Most High God said this is his truth, man.
That's right.
Because if you notice, when we've been keeping his commandments, hey, man, we've been doing a whole lot better than versus when we was in the world.
Right.
We had to sit there and worry about who was trying to stab us in the back.
Right.
We had to sit there and worry about if we was going to have high blood pressure, getting shot down in the streets. I'm not saying that these things can't happen to us because it's going to come a time where we're going to be put to death.
Right.
Preaching this truth. Just like with Christ, man. Why you think they killed him? Because he taught the truth.
Right.
He let the world know what his father said, man. He did the will of his father. But hey, that's my time with them.
That's why we here. We got other things to do, but brothers and sisters, y'all better listen. Your God that put you in this is calling that. He's telling you it's time, and they know it's time. They know it.
Before I say this verse, all praises to the Most High. Sitting on the throne, Chingy the king, what I go by. Jumped off the slave ship to a spaceship, boy, I'm so fly. Cut your triangle eye with my short mind, that's no eye. You in the kitchen cooking up, trying to bake a pie. I'm reading about my past deception, trying to cremate a lie. Guess I should talk about bottles, girls, the hood, and guns. I've gotten sick of that, you son of sin, I'm God's son.